Good evening, race fans. Welcome to round 12 of Big Brain Racing 12 Days of Christmas. Tonight we are live from Spa Francorchamps in Belgium. We are just about to get underway with qualifying, so let's jump into the action. We have John Gray, first car out of the pits. So let's take you around this outlap of John's. Just getting everything sorted. Right, so just coming down towards Rivage. Got Chase Jones all over the back of him, but overtaking not allowed in qualifying in this championship. So down the hill towards Pouon. Kind of a double apex left-hander, drops away from you, downhill braking, quite a tricky corner. And the chicane, which I know is Piff Path, but I don't know if that's the right name or not. Sure, someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Then we're around Stavelot. Two parts to Stavelot. Second part of it out onto the back straight. A little kink here is turn 16, doesn't have a name. And then turn 17 at Blanchimont. Very high speed corner. Very important to get your entry right. Make sure that you don't take too much of that curb on the inside, and then you're down into the bus stop chicane. So using a lot of runoff there on the outside. John Gray here about to start his first flying lap. Down into La Source. Hooks that up nicely. Nice and neat on exit. Getting the power down. A yellow flag from a couple of cars. I think that's just them building a bit of a gap at the end of the lap. So we'll keep an eye on John's lap at the minute as he comes along the Camel Straight. Heavy on the brakes into Lecombe. Still looking neat and tidy. Downhill, hard on the brakes into Rivage again. Looks that up, then we have No Name. No Name has been slightly reprofiled now for the Formula One, but on Assetto Corsa Competizione we're still on the old layout there. Round Pouon once again. Looking like a decent lap time so far this lap. As we come out of Stavelot, just about keeping it on within track limits there. And we're down that back straight once again towards Blanchimont. Touch the curb on the inside, help rotate the car. It's looking good if you can hook up the bus stop chicane. Nicely on power. And this is going to be a decent lap time here. 2:16.7. So, decent opening lap time. I think we can expect probably a little bit more from John there. And Anders Amundsen going straight in there with a 2:16.1. So, 8 or nearly 7 tenths quicker. Russell Matheson crossing the line with a 17.7. Joe Tomlin just crossing the line there with a 17.9. We did also see Christian Muller come across with a 16.4. So good lap time there from Christian. Who else are we looking to cross the line? Rhino Sullivan just coming into the bus stop chicane here for his first flying lap. And he is going to cross the line with a 2:17.6. Sam Braxton in the Porsche here. Just coming down towards the bus stop chicane. Looks neat and tidy. Using all that runoff on exit. He's going to cross the line with a 2:16.7. So good enough for 4th position at the minute. Let's see. Chase Jones. He is just coming into P1. Piff Path. And Stavolo. And then we are out onto that back straight down towards Blanchimon. Looking like a good lap here from Chase. Coming down into the bus stop chicane. What sort of lap time is this going to be for Chase Jones here? Crosses the line with 2:16.6, so good enough for 4th place right now. We do have improvements coming from Gabriel Oscarkier, currently in P8. He is about 6/10 up at the minute, just about to cross the line. Moves himself up to P5. We also have Rhino Sullivan, about 0.8 of a second up on this lap. We saw a car off there on the side of the track. Not sure who that was. I think that might be Luca Amaral in Narita. But Ryan coming across the line. It's going to be a big improvement. Moves himself up to P7 with a 2:17.0. We also have improvements coming for John Gray in P2. He is currently 0.3 up on this lap. Finds himself 600ths behind Anders Amundsen for that pole position at the minute. But yeah, 2.5 up at the minute on this lap. So if he can keep it hooked up. I know Anders is also on a lap, but he's a little bit further behind us on track. So we'll keep an eye on both of these times. It's looking like a good lap time for John Gray there at the minute. So around Blanchimon we go. Down into that bus stop chicane once again. It's going to be a decent improvement here for John. But he did lose a little bit on exit there. Not quite enough for that provisional pole. And now Anders going to cross the line with a 2:15.4. So huge improvement there for Anders. I don't know if anyone out there at the minute is going to be able to beat that. We do have, who should we look at first? Christian Muller just coming down towards the bus stop chicane. He's currently 0.2 up on this lap. Not sure if that's going to be enough to improve his position, although Gabriel Oscarkier has just jumped ahead. This is going to jump Christian back ahead of Oscarkier, is it? Not quite, actually. 1/100th of a second between the two of them. So Gabriel Oscarkier jumping up into P3. Christian Muller in P4. We got another improvement coming from Ryan O'Sullivan. Moved himself up one position at 216.6. Damien Konchik all the way down in P9 at the minute. In that Ferrari. He is 4/10 up on this lap though so far, so he'll be looking to improve on this 9th place that he finds himself at the minute. But not having the best of days so far, Damien, in that Ferrari. As we just come around P1. He's about half a second up now, though, as he just exits the Stabilo there onto that back straight once again. Down through Blanchiment. Thanks for the follow there, Danny. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Damien on the brakes into that bus-stop chicane. Nice and neat on entry. He's going to gain on exit now. And this is going to move Damien up to P5 on the grid. So, much better than where he did find himself. I'm sure he'll still not be super happy with that. The last car we've got that we're waiting for is Christian Muller. He's currently a couple of tenths up on this lap. So, he'll want to keep it hooked up through that final bus-stop chicane. Try and improve on that position. Currently P4. This is going to be a decent improvement though. Pops himself up into P2 there, Christian Muller. So we'll be right back momentarily. Welcome back. We are on the grid now, waiting for race start, or waiting for the cars to go away on that formation lap. For anyone who's just joining us for the first time tonight, we've got a 30-minute race coming up. No pit stop requirements or anything like that, so it's just a straight sprint race to the finish. Be interesting to see if anyone can do anything about Anders Amundsen on pole position. I appreciate that, Danny. Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's good to have you here. Glad you could make it. So you'll be cheering Anders on in this race then. How important is qualifying to you in a 24-hour race? Personal joke. Yeah. Another few seconds to go here, and then we'll get underway on the formation lap. Who's everyone supporting in chat? who does everyone think can get a good result here tonight? I think it's going to be tough for anyone to really do anything about Anders for the win, unless he makes a mistake somewhere. But yeah, otherwise, I think the battle for the podium could be quite tight. I think anyone from Christian Muller all the way back to Chase Jones, maybe Ryan and Sam can also get involved down in P7 and 8. I think any of them could really fight for the podium here tonight. So just to take you through our grid as the cars go away on the formation lap. Pole position, we have Anders Amundsen in the Big Brain Racing McLaren. P2, we have Christian Muller in the Big Brain Racing Audi. And in P3, we have John Gray in the Big Brain Racing McLaren. P4, Gabriel Oskakir in the Baller Squad Racing Ferrari. Damien Konchek is in P5 in the Big Brain Racing Ferrari. Then we have Chase Jones in P6 in the Baller Squad Racing Lamborghini. Ryan O'Sullivan finds himself in P7 in the Big Brain Racing McLaren. We then have Sam Brackstad in the Big Brain Racing Porsche in P8. P9 is Russell Matheson in the Hex Ferrari. 10th place is Joe Tomlin in the Big Brain Racing Ferrari. We then have Rainer Athenstadt in P11 in the Big Brain Racing Ferrari. Dan Johnson in the Roadrunner Racing Ferrari is in P12. Then we have Martin Greswold in the Pseudo Racing McLaren in P13. 14th is Harry Tuominen in the Hexagon Nation Audi. 15th is Adam Kahler in the Big Brain Racing BMW. Luca Amaral in his Big Brain Racing Rita is in P16. Then we have Jordan Mamadou in the 3-wide Esports Aston Martin in P17. 18th is Alexander Reitz in the 3-wide Honda. And then in 19th position we have Bas van Wiesel in the 3-wide Honda. So just coming down towards P1 on this formation lap. So the McLaren is arguably the car to have around this track. I think recent BOP has been quite kind to it here. The McLaren 720E. Apologies there if you lost us momentarily. I think things should be reconnected again now. You didn't miss too much, we've just been going around on the formation lap. So cars are starting to form up now 2 by 2. Leading the way Anders Amundsen from that pole position slot. And the interesting thing about the race start at Spa here is that we don't actually start on the start-finish straight. We go around turn 1, and then as we're going down towards Eau Rouge and Radion, that is where the lights go green. So we have another little bit of time to go before this race gets underway. So just briefly want to thank Track Titan. They've sponsored this series. They're offering prizes for the top 3 positions in every race throughout this season. And also, if you would like to go and check them out, you can get a 30-day free trial using the code in chat. So we are just about to get underway here. And we are green. Great start there from Christian Muller. Going to be on the inside of Eau Rouge. Outside as they go up and over Radion. But looks like everyone leaving each other enough space there. Anders running a little bit out wide. But he's now going to get in the slipstream behind that Audi. In fact, Gabriel Oscarkier looking to make the move. That's boxed Anders in a little bit here. And Gabriel Oscarkier making the move around the outside there as they go into Lecum. Anders looking to make the move back now. He's going to be on the inside now as they go down the hill towards Rivage. But Gabriel Oscarkier hanging it in around the outside. That's then going to give him the inside line as they go into the next corner, which is No Name. And it looks like he's going to hold on to that P2 at the minute. We've got a furious fight behind between John Gray and Damien Konchak. Damien looking to the inside there as they go into Puon. And it looks like John Gray's run a little bit wide there. That's going to give Damien that position. So Damien Konchak up to P4. I think the story of this race start, though, is Christian Muller into the lead. Gabriel Oscarkier up to P2. Anders Admundsen dropping down to third on that start. He's now got Damien Konchak all over the back of him. Not sure. John Gray looks like he's lost another position there to Chase Jones. Not quite sure what happened there. Let's see if we can catch a quick replay of that. That looks like that's already happened. So we're gonna get Dan Johnson here though, making a move or trying to make a move into the bus stop chicane. A little bit of a bump there with who is that behind him? Rainer Athenstadt, I think. Rainer running out wide there on in that final corner, and that's allowed Martin Greswold to get through. Looks like Ryan O'Sullivan making a move there, or trying to make a move against Sam Braxted, but actually losing a couple of positions there, Ryan. He's now got Joe Tomlin side by side with him as they come down towards the Rouge and Radion. Just opting to duck in behind there, Joe Tomlin. That Ferrari particularly bad in the dirty air there as they go up and over Radion. Up at the front though, Christian Muller's got a healthy gap at the minute, 1.5 seconds after that first lap. We then have Gabriel Oscarkier with Anders Amundsen right on his tail as they come down towards Rivage once again. Through No Name. Anders really able to stay on the back of Gabriel Oscarkier here. Not quite able to make a move as yet. Not quite sure what's happened to John Gray. He's lost another couple of positions there. Let's just jump back. Oh, hitting the wall there on the exit of Rivage, it looks like. So not a great start there from John Gray, but still got plenty of time to go in this race. Another 26 minutes to go in this race, so plenty of time to try and recover. He's just going to hope that he's not got too much damage on that McLaren there. As we can see up ahead there, we've got Russell Matheson all over the tail of Dan Johnson as they come down that back straight. They've also got John Gray on the back right behind them, and contact. Oh, and that's a big collision there. Big collision between John Gray and Russell Matheson. That could be game over for both of those drivers, unfortunately. It looks like Damien Konchak making the move on Anders Amundsen. It looked like there was a little spin there. I don't know if there was contact. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. So Anders trying to make the move on... No, I think he just spun it up on his own there, Anders. So that's unfortunate there for Anders. He's going to have a fight back through the field now to try and get anything out of this race. Currently finds himself down in P13 now after that spin. Although he's about to gain a position here on Luca Amaral in that Rita. But yeah, up down to P12 there for Anders. So not great. And we've seen a crash up ahead. And we've got another spin there in the background. We've got all the action here. Let's get a replay on that. That looks like Adam Kaler there in that Big Brain Racing BMW. Just making contact with the Rita maybe. Oh no, I think he lost it by himself there. Luca just managing to hold on to the car there in the Rita. There's a lot of damage on that car now from Adam Kayler. We've got a yellow flag for Martin Greswold. He's in the pit lane. Let's jump up to Alexander Reitz there. He's on the back of Bas van Wiesel. In fact, let's jump up to our battle for P2 and P3. It's Damien Konchak has now closed right in on Gabriel Oskakir. All of this fighting really allowing Christian Muller to get away out in front. The gap between Muller and Oskakir, 2.5 seconds now. Not quite sure that Damien's going to be close enough here to be able to make a move this time around. It does seem like he's closing in on the back of that Ferrari of Gabriel Oskakir though. But yeah, not quite close enough there to make a move. A bit further down the field, we do have Anders Amundsen looking to make a move on Harry Tuominen. He's going to have the inside line. He's going to now try and get the cutback coming out of that bus stop chicane. Doesn't look like he's quite managed to do it, but he will be now having a look into turn 1 maybe. But Harry Tuominen late on the brakes, managing to defend that position. But I think this could be game over down the Kemmel Straight now. The straight line speed of that McLaren should really come to the fore as they come through Eau Rouge and Radion and then go down that Kemmel Straight. Almost touching the back already as they go through Eau Rouge and over Radion. But yeah, looks like Anders pulling out of that slipstream now. He's going to be on the outside as they go into Les Combes. But, oh, in contact. That's unfortunate there. Contact between the two of them. Let's jump back. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm still not sure which one of them moved across the other, but yeah. Unfortunate for both of those cars there. And that's Anders Amundsen returning to the pits after that. So Harry Tuominen keeps going, but I think he's still got quite a bit of damage on that car as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the pits to try and repair that car. So Rainer Athenstadt is still right up behind Dan Johnson. We saw that in the race a couple of nights ago at Mount Panorama. These two were nose to tail all the way through that race. So Rainer will be hoping he can... in fact, it was the opposite way around in that race. It was Rainer Athenstadt holding on to the position ahead of Dan Johnson for that whole race. So Rainer be hoping he can make the move on Dan Johnson here tonight. And it does look like he's closing in. That gap coming down quite considerably as they come down that back straight and into the bus stop chicane. But not quite close enough to make a move. Keeping it neat and tidy as they go through that bus stop chicane. Got a yellow flag for Luca Amaral. That looks like he's had a bit of an incident there on Blanchimon, I think. Yeah, just losing the rear end there around Blanchimon. Heavy contact with the wall. Unfortunate, but that Rita, not the easiest car to drive. So, back up to the battle between Athenstadt and Johnson. And it looks like Athenstadt in the slipstream now, right behind Dan Johnson. Can he get close enough by the end of the Kemmel Straight, though, to be able to make a move? Doesn't look like he can quite get close enough, so we'll keep an eye on that. But for the time being, we're going to jump up to the battle for P2 and P3. Damien Konchak chasing down Gabriel Oskakir. Been right up behind him for a little while now, but not quite been able to make the move, it seems. Just behind these two, we have Sam Braxton trying to find a way past Chase Jones. And then behind him, we have Ryan O'Sullivan. So, three-way battle forming for 4th, 5th, and 6th place here. Does look like Sam Braxton is probably a little bit quicker than Chase Jones at the minute. But can be difficult to overtake in that Porsche. It's not always got the best straight line speed. It does look like he's gaining on Chase Jones as they come down the back straight and into that bus stop chicane. Sam Braxton trying to be late on the brakes here, but he's not quite close enough on this occasion. He'll be trying to keep nice and close behind now, though, as they go down into La Source. So now he'll want to keep it nice and neat and tidy behind him through La Source. To try and get a run now as they go down the hill towards Eau Rouge, up and over Radion, and down that Kemmel Straight. So, interesting to see if he can get close enough to make a move here. Not quite sure what the straight line speed of the Lamborghini versus the Porsche is around this track, but we're about to find out. Sam Braxton in the slipstream behind Chase Jones. And just not quite able to get close enough to make the move into Lecombe. So, sits in behind once again. We've got a yellow flag for Bas van Fiesel. That's at the top of Radion. Let's see if we can see what happened here. So, using the curb on the right-hand side. And then, just lose. Oh, that is a big contact there. Big old contact there. But yeah, jumping back to our battle with Chase Jones, Sam Braxton and Ryan O'Sullivan. The three of them just going around Pouhon. Sam Braxton right under that rear wing of Chase Jones. It's Lamborghini versus Porsche versus McLaren. The three of them nose to tail. So coming down through Blanchimont once again. Does look like Sam Braxton gaining here on Chase Jones, but again, probably not going to be quite close enough to make the move into that bus stop chicane. He is really piling the pressure on though, and I think they've got back markers ahead of them. Yep, that is Harry Tumanen ahead of them, so that is a back marker ahead. Chase Jones really looks like he's struggling to get that car slowed down into La Source. And that's put Sam Braxton right on his tail now as they come down the hill towards Eau Rouge and through Radion. Looks like we've got Rainer Athenstadt side by side with Dan Johnson as they go through Eau Rouge and over Radion. Dan Johnson holding on to that position, but did leave the track there. So that'll be an interesting one to see if it gets sent to the stewards. Sam Braxton not able to get past Chase Jones. Once again, this lap we've got Ryan O'Sullivan spinning into the wall in the background there. Let's jump on board there and see if we can get a replay there. Yeah, on board with Joe Tomlin there as we come around and see Ryan O'Sullivan in the wall. So Dan Johnson now on the rear end of Ryan O'Sullivan, closely followed by Rainer Athenstadt. Sorry, Martin, I haven't got any admin access at the minute. So Dan Johnson looking for a way past Rhino Sullivan, and it looks like he's right up under that rear wing there. So as they come out of Stavolo, 3 cars line astern here. Got Rhino Sullivan, Dan Johnson, Rainer Athenstadt. Is anyone going to be able to make a move into that bus stop chicane? Looks like we've got Rainer Athenstadt looking to the inside and then moving to the outside, trying to get a good run now out of the bus stop chicane. It looks like Sam Braxtad's going to move around the outside of Chase Jones there, out of La Source. Now it's a drag race down to Eau Rouge. And Chase Jones just ducking in behind there, not wanting to go side by side through Eau Rouge and Radion. And now tables are turned. Now Sam Braxtad is the lead car down the Kemmel Straight. And Chase Jones is trying to chase him down. But can't quite get close enough into Lecombe. So it looks like Sam Braxtad has got that move made. At least for the time being. Looking up behind, we've got Dan Johnson not quite close enough to Rhino Sullivan there to be able to make the move. And just dragging Rainer Athenstadt along with him. Three cars through, no name. Down through Pouhon, keeping it neat and tidy, the 3 of them. So Dan Johnson with a great exit there out of Stavolo. Here's right under that. And Rhino Sullivan's got a drive-through. That's got to be for track limits there. So Rhino Sullivan's going to have to get into the pit lane and serve that drive-through within 3 laps. But Dan Johnson now looking to make a move into the bus stop chicane. Decides against it. Is Ryan going to serve the drive-through straight away? He doesn't. He stays out this time. So perhaps trying to work together with Rainer Athenstadt to try and make the move on Dan Johnson here. Or perhaps he's got another reason for staying out a lap longer to take that drive-through. Whatever the reason, Dan Johnson's still right up behind Rhino Sullivan. He's right in that slipstream now as they come down through Eau Rouge and up and over Radion. The dirty air of that in that Ferrari is not the best thing that I've ever driven. It's quite a wild ride through Eau Rouge and Radion with that dirty air effect of the car in front. But coming down into Lecombe, once again not quite close enough to make the move. Dan Johnson maybe getting a little bit caught out with the overspeed there into the first part of Lecombe. But keeping hold of the car, keeping it close and neat and tidy up behind Rhino Sullivan. We're going to jump away from this battle for a second. So we've got Damien Konchek has closed that gap up once again behind Gabriel Oskakir. Just coming out of Pouhon there. So Damien working hard here, trying to gain that second position off of Gabriel Oskakir. At the minute though, Gabriel Oskakir has been able to fend off any attempt that Damien's made so far. It does look like he's gained a bit of time ahead of Damien there as well. So I don't think Damien's going to be close enough by the time they get to the bus stop chicane to make a move. And it doesn't look like he is. So let's jump back down to the battle for P7, 8 and 9. Rhino Sullivan still has that drive through to serve. It does look like Rainer Athenstadt is close up behind Dan Johnson, but not close enough to make a move into the bus stop chicane. And Ryan finally taking that drive through penalty there. That releases Dan Johnson and Rainer Athenstadt. So we're going to just jump up ahead once again. Oh, Damien Konchik there losing the car coming out of Radion. He's managed to keep the engine running there and get the car going again. There was contact with the barriers there though, so how much damage has that caused to that Ferrari? He's going to lose another position there to Joe Tomlin. That's what I was saying about the dirty air in that Ferrari. It does look like Rainer now on the outside of Dan Johnson as they come up and round Lecombe. And looks like Rainer might have got that move made. Yep, Rainer with the move there on Dan Johnson. Let's just jump back and get a replay on that. Yep, all seemed fair and reasonable there. So Damien Konchik now closing up on the back of Joe Tomlin. So with all of that, that promotes Sam Braxted up to a podium position, currently running in P3 in that Big Brain Racing Porsche. He does have Chase Jones still quite close behind him though, so can't afford to make any mistakes through the closing stages of this race there for Sam if he wants to get a podium here. Jumping back down, Damien Konchak looking to make a move on Joe Tomlin. Joe runs a little bit deep into that bus stop chicane. Damien's now going to have the outside line on the exit, which becomes the inside line into La Source. Joe going very defensive on the inside there. Damien moving to the outside. Does Joe run a little deep there? Damien's looking for the cutback now as they come down the hill towards Eau Rouge. It looks like Damien might have inched ahead, but they're going to try and go side by side now through Eau Rouge and Radion. Oh, a little bit of a touch there, but seems like they both managed to get through okay. And I think Damien may have made the move there, or has he? Yep, Damien definitely in front there, so Damien's made the move. Joe Tomlin now going to look to make the move back as they come into Lecombe maybe, but no, he's a little bit too far back. Dan Johnson now looking to make the move on Rainer Athenstadt into Lecombe, but pulls out of it at the last minute. So while we have a little bit of a lull in the action there, I just want to tell you about Track Titan once again. So Track Titan have sponsored this series. They've been offering out prizes to the top 3 in every race in this series. So they have all sorts of little tracking tools, so you can keep track of your lap time, see where you compare against other people. It'll show you where you can improve against everyone else as well. So quite a useful tool. If you use our link to sign up, you get a 30-day free trial of their Plus subscription. If you then decide that you want to sign up after that, you get a 30% discount. So well worth doing. Check it out. Looks like Chase Jones has closed in on the back of Sam Braxted again. So this, of course, the battle for the final podium position. So it's like Ryan O'Sullivan making the move there against Luca Amaral. Let's catch a replay of that. Side by side into Piff Paff. And Ryan just sending it round the outside there. Bit of damage on that Rita of Luca there. So Dan Johnson still looking to try and regain that position from Rainer Athenstadt. These two currently running in P7 and 8, but the gap between them still only around about half a second. So Rainer made the move a few laps ago, but ever since, Dan Johnson has been all over the back of him. So very similar pace, these two. We've seen it in a few races in this season. Jumping up ahead, looks like Joe Tomlin has started to drop away a little bit from the back of Damien since he made the move a couple of laps ago. So Joe Tomlin currently running in P6. We've got Damien Konchak in 5th. He's got about 5 seconds to catch up ahead of him if he wants to try and do anything against Chase Jones and Sam Braxton before the end of the race. But with only just under 3 minutes to go in this race, I think with where Christian Muller is just about to cross the line, I think we're going to get 2 more laps. So tall order for Damien Konchak to make up 5.5 seconds in 2 laps. But it does look like Chase Jones has definitely been steadily getting closer and closer to Sam Braxton as they come down to La Source. Chase Jones moving to the outside there. Sam Braxton maybe running a little bit deep into the corner there, and that's going to give Chase Jones a nice slipstream as they go down the hill towards Eau Rouge. But the punch that Porsche gets out of the corner does seem to give it a bit of an advantage there against the Lamborghini. That gap widening before it starts to close down again. And I'm not sure that Chase Jones is going to get close enough by the end of the straight here. No, just having to sit in behind. A little bit of a slide there from Sam Braxton. Dan Johnson still sitting in behind Rainer Athenstadt, managing to close that gap down the straight, but not quite enough to make a move. We've got a yellow flag for Bas van Wiesel. So is this going to be similar to what we've already seen? Oh, just taking too much curb on the inside there. The car bouncing and then, yeah, contact with the barrier, the tyre barriers there. Does manage to get going again. So the leader is on the final lap. How's that happened? I think we're going to get one more lap after this one, so I'm not quite sure why that just popped up. So Christian Muller is coming round or down towards the bus stop chicane here. He is going to cross the line with time still on the clock. So yeah, there is going to be one more lap here. So I'm not quite sure what that message was about. So Christian Muller on that, starting that final lap now. So the battles that we are watching, Dan Johnson is still right up behind Rainer Athenstadt for P7 and 8. And let's see if there's a move into the bus stop chicane. Not quite close enough there. The other battle we're watching, but it does seem like that gap has widened a little bit. The other battle we're watching is Chase Jones trying to catch up and pass Sam Braxton for P3 and P4. Like I say, that gap does seem to have widened a little bit, so let's keep an eye on the battle for P7 and 8. Dan Johnson right in that slipstream behind Rainer Athenstadt as they come down the hill towards Eau Rouge. And he's closing as they come down the Kemmel Straight. He's going to have a look here, is he? Opting against it. Just wasn't quite close enough once again. But he is right all over the back of Rainer Athenstadt here. Rainer running a little bit wide there on the exit as they come down towards Rivage. A little bit deep on the brakes there for Rainer Athenstadt. That's allowing Dan Johnson to really stick with him through this midfield section. As they come down the hill towards Puan. And we've got yellow flag for Amundsen again. This round. Just slowing down for some reason. Not quite sure what's happening there. But we do have Dan Johnson 0.1 of a second behind Rainer Athenstadt as they exit onto that back straight, and we will catch up with our leaders in a second. Just keeping an eye on this fight as they come down towards the bus stop chicane. Oh, and we've got contact there, and both cars running into that runoff area. So a little bit of a controversial finish to that there. But we do have a victory there for Christian Muller in the Big Brain Racing Audi. P2 we have Gabriel Oskakir. P3 was Sam Braxton in that Big Brain Racing Porsche. So well done to Sam. Chase Jones came home in 4th. Then Damien Konchak 5th. Joe Tomlin in 6th. Rainer Athenstadt coming home in 7th. Dan Johnson in 8th. We're then waiting for Alexander Reitz to just cross the line. He's going to come home in P9. Adam Kaler just coming around that final corner. He's going to come home in 10th place. Ryan O'Sullivan, after that drive-through penalty, is going to come home in P11. For all of those of you on Rita Watch, we have Luca Amaral just coming round to complete his final lap. He's going to come home in 12th position. And everyone else was at least a lap down, and my timing screen has started to go awry. But yeah, that was the final race of the season. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for taking part. It was quite a good fun series. We had some really good close races. Very little incidents, which was good. Hasn't been too much for the stewards to do. But yeah, once again, thank you for Track Titan for sponsoring this series. If you would like to check out our merch store, you can get such fetching hoodies as this one. We also have t-shirts and other bits and pieces. Also, if you are interested in getting any racewear, gloves, jerseys, boots, whatever it may be, you can check out IMB Racewear. But yeah, other than that, thank you very much for watching. Check us out on socials. All the information for that's down below. And I'll catch you next time.